Jason Bosley, live here in Mid-City, New Orleans, and doing a renovation on a very old house, circa 1890, something like that. And we're at a point here where we have to insulate the house. And it's a unique situation because the interior of the house had tongue and groove wall boards, and so it wasn't a situation where we could apply insulation from the interior as we were trying to salvage those wall boards. And so started doing some research on what the best approach would be, and decided that we'd try to do it when we resided the house. And so we're at that point right now, and having the whole house stripped of siding introduces some constraints. You have to, be conscious of what the weather's doing, because you don't want the interior walls exposed to the elements for very long. I talked to about 3 or 4 different people. I got about 3 official bids, and whenever I saw somebody spraying foam, like I'd drive down the road and I'd see the trailer, I'd stop in, take a look at the quality of work that was going on, and pick their brains, talk to whoever was running the show, and try to feel them out and see if what they had, what they were speaking was registering well with what common sense would tell me, and if it worked, and in my mind, knowing what I wanted to do here on the house, if it was something that was going to work well here. Jeff presented himself well as being a guy who was conscientious about the job. He appreciated the work that we did up to this point and recognized that we were trying to do a thorough, very good job, and that they were interested in delivering, a product that was, going to meet up to that standard that we had already gotten to here with everything else. So at this stage of the game, it just seemed like a good match, personality-wise and product-wise. One with the EnviroGreen because when they, showed them the situation that we were faced with and the application, and Jeff basically, he explained the differences between closed cell and open cell, and to me, everything he was saying, is what resonated well with my thought process, and so it made sense, and it affirmed everything that I already knew. And so somebody not trying to pull the wool over my eyes or give me a sales pitch that was going to benefit them, that really was probably the primary reason. And then of course he had a very competitive price, and then he was willing to work around my schedule, which like I said before, you got to work with the weather, so you got to pay attention on the weather. And since this is an exterior, we're spraying from the outside to the interior walls, looking at the weather, we have to do this. We have to get the house stripped of siding and be ready for them to come in. And so them being flexible, EnviroGreen being flexible and being able to do that, played a huge role in choosing them, just because it's hard to find people that can make a commitment like that and say, look, we'll be able to get out there, get it done, and get out. And so all of those factors combined, really, helped out. I'm excited. I can't wait to start looking at my meter and seeing what's happening. I can't wait to look at my electric bill. I've been paying about $500. $550 was the highest last summer, and it's I'm sick to my stomach to see that. So I figure if I can cut that in half, just the savings that I save with this insulation will have, it'll pay for a year's electricity last year anyway. It's ridiculous. Energy costs are ridiculous. So this is one step towards being more efficient.